All right, welcome back to content you didn't subscribe to. Some more relationship content because that's what everyone seems to actually like here. People keep asking me to make this video. Like, how do I filter out the candidates for the girls that I date? And I didn't really want to talk about this. You want to know why? It's because you get shamed. As a man, you get shamed for dating. You get shamed for having preferences. You get shamed for having standards. You get shamed if you're not nice enough. Now, I'm not saying here, please don't take this out of context. I'm not saying girls don't get shamed for things either. I'm not saying girls don't have their own set of problems. But for me in 2020, as a man and as a YouTuber now, I just want to talk about what that looks like for me. It's just basically, it's a nightmare, and it's a bunch of BS. To start off, I'd like to show you this comment that I got approximately 55 minutes ago. It was on a live stream with me and HR, where we're just sitting and we're talking and we're having a good time. We're just having fun. And she goes, "It's so weird, but when I see you talking with another person like her, now I kind of get the feeling that you're not the most social person, or I wondered if that's maybe the way you are with your ex-partners. And then I get somehow why they may have not been happy in the relationship, if that's the way you are with them. There is a smart, intelligent, funny woman and gorgeous looking, and you are cold AF and roll your eyes. I get some creepy vibes here." I took a screenshot of this comment and I sent it to HR lady, and I want you to see what she has to say about this stuff. HR lady responded, said, "You're blunt and honest, but cold is not a thing you are. Cold people don't constantly want to touch each other, because when we're hanging out, I always got my arm around her, holding hands, whatever. I don't get why a bunch of them say you need to be nicer to me. It's bizarre. I don't know what they're watching, but it's clearly not us." She goes on to say, "You're nice to me, but if you vomited niceties on me all the time, I'd peace out. Ew." And I said, "Because she expects me to change my demeanor, like you're some god, like I'm supposed to be so nice to you just because you're a cute, smart, and funny girl, you know? You wouldn't have been here if you didn't like who I was already, unless you wanted the clout, but then we'll get to that later in the video, right?" She goes on to say, "Also, you are real with me. You're nice to me, and you crack me the F up all the time. We have the best time just sitting there when normal people would be bored, so she can GTFO." You just get shamed. You get shamed for not being the man that other people think that you should be. You get shamed for having preferences. You get shamed for having standards of how you live your dating life and how you assess the people that you spend time with. All right, so first I want to talk about what it's like to date as a YouTuber. When you first meet a girl, they don't take you serious. They don't take you serious at all. They think that you live in your mom's basement, or that you're like a Twitch streamer with like 10 views and, oh, you want to be a YouTuber. You're not. Okay, you don't actually make a living. You don't have a business. They don't think any of that. They just think, oh, one of those guys. And then if you manage to get past that, suddenly they realize like, oh, wow, he's a somebody. Wow, he actually has more Instagram followers than I do. Wow, that's amazing. And suddenly the whole demeanor changes. I'm independent. I'm successful. And you know, if you say that you do YouTube, that's not a real job. That's not the engineer, lawyer, paycheck provider type that they're looking for. But if you manage to get past that, suddenly they realize, oh wow, he's made something. And then you don't know if they want what you've made for yourself, right? Just the materialistic things, the items, the brand, the recognition, whatever, or if they want who you are and how you are as a person. So it's really, really difficult to trust people anymore, especially now. Like the last ex-girlfriend, she was there from like day one, right? Like before I did YouTube, before I even started my own business, she was there for the come up. And so like it would be a little bit easier to trust someone that was there from the beginning when you had nothing. But right now, every time I meet someone, it's basically impossible to believe what someone says. It takes a really long time for those people to prove that they just don't want you for what you have. As a joke, sometimes I'll say to girls like, "I have more followers than you on Instagram," and they'll be like, "Oh wow, what? Okay." And then they look at the YouTube, and you know, the followers and the likes and the comments and all that stuff is just like, oh wow, oh, suddenly you're just this elevated up there. It's like, you know, it's just so fake. It's all of a sudden, it's just like, it's sad that it has to be that way, but I recognize that is the way it is. There have been a few dates that I've been on where I've been recognized. I was on a date with a girl. Someone walked up to me, "Hey man, you're Josh, right? Like, you're that guy. You're the guy on YouTube, dude. I love your videos." And then all of a sudden, that entire date dynamic changes. You know, we went from like having an awkward first date to her trying to bring me back to her place at the end of the date. It's just so weird. I never understood that. Like, you hear about it and you see it and you think that these dudes are shallow and stuff, but like from my perspective, it's hard to tell if anyone is authentic anymore. It's really And I don't flash it, right? I don't flash what I have. I don't flash who I am. I don't flex and say, look at me, you know, just sometimes as a joke, if the girls thinks that she's some high tier, whatever, like this far ahead of me and like, you know, whatever. And then all of a sudden you just say your social status and they're like, oh, wow. Oh, tell me more. You want to go get a drink or whatever? I've had some girls ask if they could come on my stream. And I'm like, why do you want to be on my stream? They're like, well, I just think it'd be cool to be part of what you do. No, you just want free Instagram followers. You don't care about what I do. You've never even asked. We've been on 3 dates and you haven't asked a single thing about what I do or what I talk about or why it's important to me. You just want to come on the stream so people will be like, oh, what's her Instagram? And then you'll get free followers. Like, it's really stupid. I have a 90-day rule that's basically, if I'm dating you, you are not going to be in the videos, you are not going to be in the live streams, no one's going to know who you are or if you even exist for 90 days. And that's being generous. Linus Tech Tips, I think he has like a whole, like it's 6 months or 9 months whenever he hires someone new onto his team, before he'll show them in front of the camera, because all those people got to do is they jump in front of the camera, hi, my name is this and that, and then they can quit Linus Tech Tips and they can, you know, they're known because Linus Tech Tips has an audience of, 10 million people. Back to being shamed for things. You just get shamed for having preferences of who you date and who you don't date. And it's the worst. It is the worst thing. Everyone else just says that, oh, you're not a real man if you don't do this. You're not a real man if you don't do that. And you just get shamed for having simple standards or personal standards. And you're not pushing those standards onto other people, and yet you still get shamed for it. Here, I will give you some examples, and just I can imagine the comments at the end of this video. Example number 1. I don't date single moms. I don't want kids. I don't want your kids. I don't want to adopt your kids. I don't want to raise another man's sperm. I don't want to treat your kid like my own. I don't want to pretend that I care about your kid when I don't, because I don't want kids. I don't care about them. I have dogs. And I don't want to deal with another man in my life. Typically you got to deal with the ex-husband or ex-boyfriend or the baby daddy at some point for the rest of your life, unless they're like locked up or he passed away or something. And it's not like I'm going out there and I'm saying that. It's just that when people ask me why, that I say the honest truth. That's why. That's why I don't want to do it. And there's nothing against you. I'm sure you'll find a nice man, but don't shame me because I don't want to date you because of these are the reasons. It's nothing personal against you. It's just that's my own personal preference, but good luck in your endeavors. I've been told, because I don't want to date a single mom and I don't want to eventually have to buy gifts and stuff for their kids and say, oh, well, when is the point where he starts calling me dad? And then if we break up, then is he going to get another dad? Like, I don't want to do that to your kid. And it says, I've been shamed for this. Normally they'll say, you need to man up. You can't handle a real woman that has her life together. I'm a strong, independent woman. If you were a real man, you could handle me and my kid and you could take care of us both. I'm not a paycheck. I'm not a provider, and I get shamed for that. And it's not even, it's why people don't talk about it. It's why people keep their preferences to themselves. Here's a comment that I got on my last video talking about why I don't want to get married and all the reasons behind that logically, and why it just doesn't make sense for me because I don't want kids and I'm not really religious. So, you were a roommate, not her man. A real man is a provider, not a desperate sissy user, unlike today's feminine 50-50 soy boys, insert you. It's a lot, right? Like, you're not a real man because you made her pay rent and you didn't want to get married and you withheld children from her, and it's like, I didn't do any of that. She told me she didn't want to get married. I told her I wasn't going to get married. She told me she didn't want to have kids, and there's no free seats at my table. If you want to sit here, you got to pay your share. That's how it is. It's 2020. You want equality? You got it. Pay your share. And as you can see, you get called not a real man. A real man is a provider. A real man is a paycheck. A real man wants to have kids and gets married. And it's just like, it's stupid. You get shamed for everything. Here's another example that I get shamed for. I don't date people that smoke or do drugs or go out and party on the weekends. I'm not saying that those people shouldn't do those things. I am just saying I don't want to date people that do those things. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And then I get told, you're lame. You just don't know how to have fun and lighten up. You only live once. You're a buzzkill. And I don't engage with these people. I don't actively seek them out. I don't judge them. I just don't date them. Here's another example. I never take home girls on the first date. I don't even try to take girls home on the first date. That's not important to me. What's important is to see if we vibe, to see if we have chemistry, to see if we get along. There's some mutual interest. But I'm also not going to take you on more than 4 dates, because if we aren't naked and getting it on by then, the chemistry's not there, and I'm out. I'll see you later, because that's important to me. Physical attraction is important to me, and we'll get to that. You know, I'm gonna get shamed for that. I'm not saying that you should have those rules. I'm not saying that you should have these preferences. I'm just saying this is how I operate. Here is another comment that I got on the video talking about why I don't want to be married. We got Ian. He says, as a happily married man who is not a coward, I dislike this video. So that implies that I'm a coward because I don't want to get married. And I've seen multiple comments like this on that video. Some of us grow up and get married and take our responsibilities in stride, and then some of us never grow up and we stay a child like you, Josh. And I've seen multiple comments like this just because I don't want to get married, and I just say that out loud. Everyone says, you got to do your duty as a man. Like, who made that up? There's 3 main things that I look for in the person that I'm dating. Physical attraction, number 1. Ambition and independence. Let's talk about the first one, the most opinionated one, the one that's gonna make me seem the most shallow, the one that's gonna make me seem like the biggest jerk, the one that's gonna make me seem like all you care about is sex, and it's not. But hey, let's talk about it. Physical attraction is non-negotiable for me. I don't want to be intimate with someone I'm not physically attracted to. Otherwise, like if we're chill and we want to hang out, we could just be friends. But physical attraction for me, hey, that is non-negotiable. And again, everyone has their own preferences of what they like and what they don't like when it comes to physical attraction, but you can't say it. You can't say what you do like and what you don't like when it comes to the physical aspects of a girl, because there's all the social stigma that's tied to it. But I found the opposite for girls. Girls can be exceptionally open about what they like and about what they don't like. I'll give you an example. The classic one is the girl say, I'm not gonna date a guy that's shorter than me. The guy has to be at least this tall or he stands no chance. But if a guy were to ever say, okay, well, if I have to be that tall, you have to be this weight, you know, girls will absolutely lose their mind. They will lose their mind. A guy, you know, we can't control our height. Hey, but you can control your weight, you know, unless you got like thyroid or hormone problems. That makes it difficult, right? But you get what I'm saying. It's like a little bit of a double standard there. For me, I date girls that are into fitness, they have long, natural hair, and they have a nice smile. If a girl has bangs or short hair or a shaved head or it's dyed like pink or purple or something, that's a no for me, dog. That's a no for me. Don't care about taking care of your body, aren't into fitness, that's a no for me, dog. Like, sorry, it's nothing personal. I just don't want to date you. It doesn't mean we can't be friends, but these are just the physical aspects of what I like about women. And again, you're going to get a bunch of people down here in the comments that say, well, it's what's on the inside that counts, Josh. And sure, if that's the case, we can be friends. Now, the fact remains is if I'm not physically attracted to you, your personality isn't going to get it up. That's just, it's not. It's just going to stay floppy pool noodle, dude. Like, I gotta be attracted, or it's just, we're not, The next thing here is ambition. And this is a difficult one for me because I think I'm pretty ambitious and I have a lot of goals for myself, and it's nice to see other people working towards those goals. And here's what makes it difficult for me, at least, is that I don't care about what 99% of the world does for fun because I don't share the same interest. I don't care about clubbing. I don't care about partying. I don't care about drinking. I don't care about doing drugs and getting really high. I don't care about chasing down every concert that has a band. For me, again, if people have ambitions like that, hey, that's really attractive to me. I think that's cool that you have goals, but you gotta be actively working towards those goals as well. If all you wanna do is spend your time getting wasted and having a girl's night out every weekend and then complain about how you're broke and you don't have any money, get away from me. This is real. This is the hardest part for me, I guess, in 2020, is finding someone else that has ambition. I'll ask people on the date about their dreams or their goals, and they'll usually tell me what they want to do after college or when they get their degree, and they'll tell me, I just want to travel the world. I just want to own a dog sanctuary, or this dream, or that dream. And then when I ask what they're doing to work towards it, they just say, well, right now I'm broke, and I can't afford anything, but yeah, someday. Because they go out every weekend, and they spend all their money drinking and partying, and then they complain about being broke throughout the rest of the week, and then the cycle repeats. And basically, I just don't date people that live for the weekend. I can't do it. You need to have some ambition, and you need to be working towards that ambition, and you need to be wanting a better life for yourself, because that's what I am. And if you're just okay with doing your own thing, that's cool, but we're just not gonna be on that level. All right, the next thing is independence. You need to be able to support yourself, you need to be able to drive yourself to a date, you need to be able to pay for a date, and you need to be able to pay your own rent. Oh, and that's a good one, man. That is a good one. When I ask girls to pay for the date, or at least just their half of the date, they get so triggered. People, they split 50-50, and instantly they just call me like, oh, you're not a real man, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You get shamed either way. They expect me to pay for the date. All the girls that I go on dates with expect me to pay. And this is 2020, right? You want equality, you got equality, pay for your half. And then as soon as I say that, girls usually say, oh, but I'm broke. And I say, okay, well, I guess we'll go to the park and have a chat. And then they usually call me cheap or something like that. And it's like, I'm not gonna pay money for a chance to talk to you. Why don't I get a free lunch? Nobody wants to take me to a free lunch, so no, I'm not gonna do that. If you're into me and you're into what I do and what I'm about, hey, show up to the date. If you don't have money, hey, that's cool, no problem. Been there, done that, I can relate. Let's go to the park and chat, because that's not what this is about. It's about who we are. Here's a comment from a guy who said, why did you charge your girlfriend rent though? That's corny and not manly. And I said, what you mean? She gotta pay her share. Ain't no free seats at this table. You gotta pay your share or get out. Corny or not manly. Boy, you have fun being a paycheck then. For a girl, for me to be attracted to her, you need to be independent of me. You need to have your own thing going on, and if we meet in the middle and we hang out and we're having a great time and we compliment each other, that is fantastic. But I don't want people dependent on me, and I don't want to be dependent on them, because then you start talking about money and finances and whether you can afford this or that, and it's just it's no good. I don't want to do it. I want people to take care of themselves and make themselves happy. Overall, my philosophy on dating and relationships is so radically different than what everyone expects when I meet them, that it's just really difficult to date me, and it's made it really difficult for me to find people that are open-minded enough to do that. Especially as soon as I tell them I don't want marriage or kids, they're like, oh, okay, so this isn't going anywhere. And I was like, what do you, it can go for as long as you want. I just don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. And people try to guilt trip me when I explain my thought process. People try to guilt trip me. They say, I'm scared of commitment. And I say, I'm not scared of commitment. I just have no reason to commit to you. I can commit to things that are within my control, but people are not within my control. Other people, I can't control you. You're going to do what you want. I can, it's a nice thought for me to be like, oh, I'll always love you. But like, that's not true. I can't control what you're going to do. You could do something really stupid the next day and I'd be like, no, this is dumb. I don't want to be part of that. It's a nice idea, but like, let's take it day by day and let's slowly let's build that trust. It takes years to build trust, seconds to break it, If we don't have a mutual interest in each other and you expect me to do 100% of the work of the relationship just because I'm the guy, I have more important shit to do, and I have a pretty kick-ass life as it is. I don't need you. I was happy before I met you. I'll be happy after I met you. That sounds really selfish, but it's mentally, that is a healthy thing to do. You shouldn't let your happiness be determined by another person. You should be in charge of that. I don't feel incomplete by being single, and I think that's a problem that a lot of people have. They say, oh, I need to find my other half. No, you're complete. You are already complete. You don't need to find your other half. You're good as is. That's what you have to realize. You have to be okay with being by yourself. And that's mind-blowing to people. They say, Josh, you're going to be forever alone. Here's a comment that says, Josh, you're going to be a lonely old man. And I don't get what's wrong with that. What's wrong with being alone, There's a difference between loneliness and being alone. People can be perfectly fine being alone. Loneliness is a different state of mind. That's having no one around you to talk to. But if you're in a relationship out of fear of being lonely, then you have bigger issues. You can be alone in a room full of people. You could be at a party, surrounded by people and your friends and family, and you can feel alone. You could feel lonely. I just never understood that. Like, I'm good being alone. When I'm dating somebody, I don't ever say things like, you make me so happy. Without you, I'd be lost. You're my soulmate. I don't ever say those things. I'm happy that you're here, but without you, I'd still be happy. And people don't like to hear that. People want to feel needed, I guess. People want to feel loved and like they're important to somebody. And while you can still be important to somebody, you should still be happy on your own. When I'd say, without you, I'd be so lost. It's my job to give myself a direction. It's not someone else's job for me to meet them and then suddenly my life is complete. When I say these things to people, or when they ask me where this is going or what this is about, they don't like that because they've just grown up so differently and they've been told things that make them think that love is unconditional and love is forever and all this blah 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 stuff, and it's just, I'm very realistic. Overall, if the chemistry is there and we have mutual interests and we enjoy spending our time together, we're physically attracted, great. Let's hang out. Let's have a great time. Let's continue this for as long as possible. Let's not add any unneeded stress to this. Let's just keep going. If we like being with each other, hey, let's decide to just be with each other then. If you want to go get someone else, hey, maybe that's unfortunate. Maybe you don't like something about me, but hey, whatever. And I guess this is the thing. I'm just so cut and dry, or as that lady said at the beginning of the video, I'm just cold. I'm just cut and dry about things. I'm honest and I'm blunt, and that's more than you'll find from most people. The problem with that is it just challenges what people know. It challenges how they grew up. It challenges their ego. It challenges their pride. And so instead of going, maybe he has a point, they just say you're stupid and you need to grow up. How could what I grew up knowing be wrong? That's just how it is. And I'm sure for a fact that people are out there judging me right now, thinking I'm a jerk and I'm shallow and I'm selfish and blah, 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 all these things. Hey, that's fine. It's not the first time I've heard it. But at least I know what I want in life and what I don't want in life. And so imagine knowing that and then getting shamed for it. I'm not judging other people. I'm not saying other people shouldn't or should do things. I'm just saying I don't want to be part of that. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So for those of you out there that agree with me, maybe hit thumbs up, maybe hit subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what your dating experiences are like. And girls, look, if you're watching this video, girls, I'm not trying to leave you out. Okay, I just don't have the perspective of dating guys. I'm sure you have your own set of issues. I'm sure you have your own stereotypes that you have to break through. I'm sure that guys have their own thoughts about what you should and shouldn't do, and whatever. I don't have that perspective. I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do. I'm just going to say this is what I like and this is what I don't like, and this is what I associate with and this is what I don't associate with, and these are my preferences. And that's it. That's all we're saying here. So please try not to get triggered and whatever. It's going to happen anyways if you like these types of relationship videos or my thoughts of how I do things, again, maybe hit subscribe, click the little bell if you haven't already. I got some links down there in the description if you'd like to support the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.